All right, listen, today is your lucky day because we're going to review some questions that you're going to see on the state exam. I guarantee it. Listen, at least the topic we're going to hit today, you'll see on the state exam. So I want to get straight to it. I want to make you better and prepared for that state exam. Here we go. Let's start off with the first one. Get ready. Which of the following best describes escrow instructions? Great question. A, oral directions from the principals to an impartial third party to do all the necessary acts to carry out the escrow agreements of the principals. B, written directions from the principals of an impartial third party to do all the necessary acts to carry out the escrow agreements of the principals. Next one. C, written directions from the escrow notifying the principals of the necessary acts he will carry out. D, oral directions from escrow notifying the principals of the necessary acts he will carry out. Got it? All right. What is the answer? Well, let's knock off what is not the answer. Now, we already know that when it comes to escrow instructions, we want this in writing. We want this in writing, no ifs, ands, or buts. Got it? So if you look at the options we have for the answers, we obviously know that oral is not going to work. So we can eliminate A, because that's oral directions. We can eliminate D, because that also has oral directions. So now we're left with two written directions. We have B and C, because both of those are giving us the option of written directions. Got it? So of these two, which one are they? Quite obvious here. The answer is B, written directions from the principals to an impartial third party. Don't forget, I've told you this over and over and over again. Escrow is a neutral third party that takes direction. They take direction. That's all they do. They take instruction. Got it? So the answer there, of course, is B. Escrow does not initiate an escrow process. The buyer, seller, or the agents do. Nice and simple. So the answer for that, of course, is B. All right, let's go to the next one. Just so happens to be another escrow question. You know what? Escrow is a very important part when it comes to the state exam, so let's understand it completely. Here we go. Next one. Which of the following are escrow duties? What does escrow do? We have A, ask for the funding of the buyer's loan. B, ensure that the terms and conditions of transfer are met before closing. C, release funds only when written instructions are received from all parties involved. D, all of these. Every time we see all of these, we think, well, that must be the safest safety net, the safest answer. Hold on, pump the brakes. It might not be, who knows? The answer is, drum roll please. Yeah, it is going to be D, all of these. Got it? Escrow does it all. They want to ensure that all stipulations in the contract are what? Met. They want to communicate with the lender to make sure that the monies are transferred over to the escrow department or title company. Their job is to keep everything intact. Remember, neutral third party that protects the integrity of the transaction. Neutral third party that protects the integrity of the transaction. Next one. Now this question has to do with amendments. We have a great video on amendments. Check it out. Amendments. Now, question goes like this. Who must sign the amendment to the escrow instructions in order for it to be valid? Great question. Now, amending a contract means you're changing it up some, right? A, all parties to the escrow. B, the seller. C, the lender. D, the buyer. Now, let's go to the answer. The answer is all parties to the escrow. You got it? Listen, if we're going to make any changes to the contract, if we're going to make any change, I don't care how minute it is, any changes to the contract, small, large, medium, I don't care. Everybody has to be informed and everybody has to agree. Now, the deal with real estate is oral agreement means nothing. We have to have it in writing, which means we want a signature to be given by all parties involved. We want to inform the seller, we want to inform the buyer, and if the lender's involved, let's tell the lender about it, and we want everybody to agree by signing off on the amendment. Nice and simple. Let's go to the next one. Now this next question, I want you to be aware of it. You might see it in your real estate career. Listen, I'm almost going to guarantee that you're going to see it on your state exam. Ready? And it's regarding kickbacks. Regarding kickbacks, here we go. Question is, ABC Escrow, company ABC Escrow, is very happy for all the business broker Jones sends their way. So they send him a gift card for $10 for each referral. A nice little simple gift card of $10 for each referral. This is A, allow it as long as the seller who is paying for the escrow service is aware. B, allow it as long as all principals in the transaction are aware. C, never allowed. D, allowed. What could it possibly be? Now this is a tricky question because we just discussed in the previous question that as long as everybody knows about it, it's okay. As long as everybody signs off and says, yeah, it's cool, it's okay. Ready? Here it comes. Please remember RESPA, RESPA, RESPA. The answer to this one is C, never allowed because of RESPA. Now, as a reminder, RESPA stands for Real Estate Settlement Procedures Act, and it does not allow kickbacks whatsoever. Although they were established in 1974, it's still valid today. No kickbacks at all. So the answer, of course, there would be C, never allowed. Kickbacks, no bueno, amigo. Now the next one is pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Doesn't mean it won't trick you. Here we go. Question goes like this. Buyer James would like to move in early, before the close of escrow. What must he obtain in order to do this? So we got a buyer who's in escrow, is going to purchase the house. Escrow has not closed yet. The house is not under his name yet. He is not the legal owner as of yet, but he wants to move in early because the property is empty. What must he obtain in order to do this? A, the broker's written permission. B, the seller's written permission. C, none of these. He may just proceed to move on in. After all, he is on the contract. Or is it D, the seller's verbal permission? Now think about this for a second. Just for a second though, because it's rather simple. We want everything in writing. Everything in writing. Everything in writing. Remember, verbal instructions mean nothing in real estate. We want proof that somebody says it's okay. We want validation in writing. So the answer to this would be B, the seller's written permission. The seller still owns the house, man. The seller's still the owner of the property. He's on title, he's on the deed. The seller still owns the property. Nobody else does in the world but the seller. So the seller must be the one to say, yes, you may enter this property early. You have my written permission to do so. Aside from that, it ain't gonna happen. Got it? So the answer, of course, there would be B, the seller's written permission. Now this question is pretty simple. There's no explanation. You just have to memorize this. It's in the contract, but I want you to have it engraved in your brain. Question goes like this. Once a real estate agent receives deposit funds from a buyer, how many days does the agent have to deposit these funds into a trust or escrow account? Fantastic question. Listen, there's no doubt in my mind you're going to see this on your state exam. Is it A, 3 business days? Is it B, 3 calendar days? Is it C, 5 business days? Or is it D, 5 calendar days? Ha, I like this question because it's rather simple. And I want you to memorize this forever and ever and what? Yeah, ever. The answer is, ready, wait for it. The answer is, yeah, 3 business days. Engrave it in your head. Tattoo it on your forehead. Whatever it takes, remember it. 3 business days. All right, now let's switch gears. Let's switch gears to an easement question. How can an easement on real property be canceled or terminated? A, a release signed by the owner of the dominant tenement. B, removal by the person giving the easement. C, the servient tenement can cancel the agreement unilaterally. Or D, none of these. It's a great, tricky question. Now, the answer is A, a release signed by the owner of the dominant tenement. In other words, the person who's utilizing this and has the benefits of utilizing this easement, if they agree to say, you know what, I don't need it anymore, make it go away, all they have to do is sign an agreement saying, I'm done. Very similar to a quit claim deed. I have the rights to it, but you know what? I don't want to execute these rights. I don't need them anymore. It's a great question. So if the one who's utilizing the easement says, no mas, Mr. Servient Tenement, I don't need this. You can make it go away. What's a great way to do it? Have the dominant tenement who has the rights to use it say, you know what? I contractually say, no mas, I don't need it. Have them sign off away. All right, now this next question is written beautifully. Why? Because it relates specifically to the question we just went over regarding easements. You're going to know the answer to this because we just reviewed an easement question. I guarantee it. Here we go. Which of the following statements about easements is not true? Which means one of the following answers is false. How about we switch it that way? Which of the following is false? A, an easement appurtenant to the land is said to run with the land. B, an easement cannot be terminated once it is recorded with the county recorder's office. C, someone who acquires an easement by prescription need not pay property taxes for the use of the easement. Or D, the dominant tenement will benefit by the easement. Now of these 4, listen to me carefully, of these 4, which one is not true, which makes it false? Which of the 4 here provided to us is false? It's not good. We know it's a lie. Now we just discussed that we can remove easements. So when you look at these answers here, the one that's standing out to me is B. An easement cannot be terminated once it is recorded. We know that's not true because it can be terminated. Now how can it be terminated? Right. The dominant tenement, the one who benefits from it, says, I don't need it anymore, and signs a quit claim deed saying you can make it go away. So the answer to this is definitely B. An easement cannot be terminated once it is recorded with the county recorder's office because that is false. It is wrong, and the question is asking us which one is not true. And that's the one that's not true. Let's go to the next one. All right, next question regarding deeds. Let's get straight to it. Question is, of the following types of deeds, which has no warranties that are either expressed or implied? Sounds like a fancy question. Let's break it down nice and simple. Of the following types of deeds, which has no warranties that are either expressed or implied? Great question. Now, the answers are A, warranty deed, B, quit claim deed, C, grant deed, or D, validity deed. Which one of these has no warranties that are either expressed or implied? Now, one that we've been discussing the last few questions are a quit claim deed. A quit claim deed is, of course, someone who has the rights to something and they say, you know what, I release my rights. I don't need them after all. I'm good. Quit claim deed. Now that one there in itself does not imply any warranties. So we're going to go ahead and select B as our answer because that is the correct answer. All right, let's go to the next one. All right, so we've reached our last question. Let's close off with this one. Property tax that is not paid would place a lien, A, before the mortgage lien, B, after the mortgage lien, C, equal to the mortgage lien, or D, any of these? This is a fantastic question. Now, when it comes to Uncle Sam, please remember, Uncle Sam is powerful, and he always comes first. When it comes to property taxes, they always win. So in this case, it would be A, before the mortgage lien. They want to get paid first. So when it comes to property taxes, yeah, Uncle Sam gets paid first. So in this case, the answer would be A, before the mortgage lien. Real property tax becomes a specific lien and takes priority over a mortgage lien regardless of the date filed. Please remember that when it comes to taxes, property taxes that are not paid, Uncle Sam gets paid first before the seller gets to reap his rewards and his profits. Got it? Uncle Sam gets his chunk and then the seller gets what's remaining. Hey, listen, I hope you enjoy that. We have a great state exam prep program with over 1,000 questions, very similar to the ones we just went over. It's in the link down below. Check it out. You're not going to lose. In addition, check out the video right here. It's extremely beneficial. Listen, I'm wishing you all the best. Take care.